Presentation is relationship between teacher disposition toward online discussion and evaluation of its quality. I'll be using the case of video-based didactical chess technique to discuss the online discussion and its structure. Warm-up question to the audience. What is common between teaching and playing chess? Someone might say nothing. Actually, it has a lot. Teaching and chess. As in teaching, we have a beginning of the lesson and its closure. In chess, we have an opening and endspiel with middle game in between. Both in teaching and chess, we analyze situations and make moves. We use strategic reasoning. We have aha moments when we check and mate. So I'll talk about research focus, methodology, procedure, results, and significance of the study within the conclusions. Research focus, along with the content development and content interactivity, promoting and facilitating effective content-focused discourse is critically important to the success of online course. Well-designed and seamlessly implemented content interactivity and content communication significantly contribute to the effectiveness of learning in online course. A number of studies report that students' attitude toward online discussions depends on social and cultural factors, including but not limited to communication, connectedness, support in the online environment. However, the field lacks explanatory studies that relate students' attitude toward online discussion to quality of the discussion itself. Considering the importance of this relationship, the study aimed at the following research questions. To what extent students' evaluations of the online discussion relate to their preference? And what is the nature of students' affective disposition toward online discussion? We used the explanatory mixed method study focused on the examination of the connection. In-service teachers, 116 of them, were selected using cluster sampling technique based on the enrollment in the university-based mathematics method course. Some of the teachers were enrolled in the alternative certification program. Teachers responded to a questionnaire with the following 4 questions. Question 1, what is your preferred format of class discussion? And they had 3 choices under that question: face-to-face, hybrid, and online. Question 2 was qualitative by nature, asking to explain why students have the preference. The question 3, we asked to evaluate the quality of discussion in the class, and they had choices high, medium, and low. And the question 4 asked students to explain why they evaluated the quality of the discussion a certain way. Data analysis, student disposition toward online discussion was indirectly measured by their preferred format of discussion while responding to question 1 and 3. The nature of student disposition was indirectly analyzed by the narratives in response to questions 2 and 4. Considering categorical nature of the quantitative data collected for questions 1 and 3, we employed a non-parametric chi-square technique. The narrative data for question 2 and 4 were analyzed using meaning coding technique. Procedure. Now we go back to chess. The didactical chess technique was employed to improve the effectiveness of teacher learning in online mathematics method course through discussion and reflection using video cases. Objective of the game is to watch the video case until the pause point purposefully selected by the instructor. Analyze the situation, come up with the most effective teacher move, and justify why the selected move is most effective with regard to student learning in that particular situation. First, the instructor carefully selects didactical situations in the video that has teachable moments such as student ways of problem solving, student misconceptions, student questions, to name a few. The instructor includes the pause point in the video track. The students watch the video until that very point, and during that pause, they individually work on the engineering of teacher move. Here's a diagram that shows 3 stages of using didactical chess strategy with the video cases. Pre-video stage, where students solve the problem that later will be shown in the video. This stage helps students to get into the situation of problem solving and understanding the problem itself. During the video case, they analyze the situation, select a teacher move, and justify why that move is effective. In the post-video stage, where students have an opportunity to individually reflect on the video case and the selected moves. So that 3 stages consist of the procedure of the didactical chess technique we use in the study. An example of the PreVideo activity, students solve the border problem. On the 10 by 10 grid below, they need to figure out, without writing and without counting one by one, how many unit squares are in the colored border of the grid, and explain their methods. During the video activity, they will have to use the element of gamification, didactical gamification. The game-based learning activity designed for this assignment is called didactical chess. They watch the video until the pause, and they select the teacher move that they think is effective in that situation and explain why. The post-video activity includes reflections on several elements of the lesson, including content, teacher moves, student responses, and the environment of the classroom. Engineering of teacher move goes through several stages. The first one is analyzing the didactical situation. Students analyze the content, analyze the teacher actions, analyze the student responses, and the classroom environment. As I said before, during possible teacher moves, they define the didactical situation, identify main factors impacting potential teacher moves, and list possible teacher actions. Then they select the best teacher move and explain why. Based on the previous stage, they also construct next didactical situation, select the effective didactical move, justify why it's effective, and share their thinking with their peers and the whole group in the whole group discussion. On this slide, I have examples of teacher moves. I'll be skipping it for the sake of time limit. On this slide, I explain in more detail what is the purpose and some specifics of the didactical chess technique. Now we go to results. Main results of the study reveal that students' disposition toward online discussion relates to students' evaluation of the quality of the discussion in the course. The student responses 116 to question 1 were distributed as following. 65 students out of 116 involved in the study preferred face-to-face discussion format. 18, which is 15.5%, hybrid format, and surprisingly 33, which is 28.5%, online format. Contingency table with frequencies of students' evaluations of discussion quality across different diversity delivery formats is presented below. Continuation of the results on question 1 and 3 that relates to research question 1. Among those who preferred face-to-face format, only 17 students, 26.2%, evaluated online discussion as high quality, whereas 22 students, which is 66.7% out of those who preferred online discussion format, rated the online discussion at a high quality level. The chi-square is significant between these two sets of data. Another significant finding was among students who preferred hybrid format. 12 students, 66.7 again, rated the quality of online discussion as high compared to those who preferred face-to-face. And again, we have significance high square results. However, no significance was observed between students' ratings in online and hybrid formats. Therefore, results of the study suggest that student disposition, or I may say predisposition toward discussion, could be strongly associated with their evaluation of the discussion among other factors, social and cultural, for example. On the question 2, we have qualitative data that we analyzed using meaning coding technique, and here I present several student responses on their preference and evaluation on their preference of the discussion mode. For example, Frank says, I think that we have a lot to gain and learn from virtual learning and discussions. However, I personally do not think we can ever experience the same benefits as having face-to-face cloud discussions. There is a lot to be missed. I prefer face-to-face learning as a student and a teacher because it's easy to build a sense of community with people you share oral conversation with in a physical classroom setting. Other student, Laura, said, I believe both face-to-face class participation and online written reflections are beneficial for students. Online written reflection gives students time to think of their responses. They have the opportunity to edit and make any changes before the written response is submitted. As an educator, I truly miss the face-to-face oral participation. Having a conversation, sharing ideas, and listening to these interactions can be beneficial for the students who do not participate. The third response comes from Myra. She says, I think I would have to say that I prefer online discussions. As an instructor myself, there are many times when I don't share my ideas because I don't feel comfortable enough. Plus, online platform allows all students to share their thinking before or few dominating in the discussion. So Myra's point is that sometimes in the class, in the face-to-face class, there are students who dominate discussion, and those who are shy might not participate orally. Here the set of excerpts for question 4. Nicole says, I enjoy responding to our discussion questions to the video cases. They push me to consider all aspects of what is being taught, such as Kathy's instructional choices. Kathy is the teacher in the video. The mathematical content and student perspectives. These are all frameworks that we should be incorporating into our own classroom instruction. So having an opportunity to practice this is very helpful. I attempt to truly cultivate an answer that possesses depth and understanding. Tom says, initially I had some difficulty when answering the discussion questions. I thought that they were very general and felt that my answers might not be covering the width intended. Now I understand that they are meant for reflection, no matter where the reflection takes us. We also get an opportunity to discuss it as a group, and in that way we get some closure. I found these video discussions difficult because I didn't have enough teaching experience to tell if Kathy was using the best method available, says Eva. And sometimes I just used my imagination or limited experience, teaching experience, to provide an answer of what I would do. So while analyzing these excerpts, we were using meaning coding technique, and for example, in Nicole's response, she clearly emphasized that she enjoyed the online discussion. She also justified that they push to consider all aspects of what is being taught, particularly the instructional choices, the mathematical content, and student perspectives. While she was evaluating the online discussion quality as high, Tom thought that the quality of the online discussion was at a medium level. He admits that he had some difficulty when answering the discussion questions, and later he overcame those difficulties, and he said, now I understand that what they meant. And he elaborated further on no matter where the reflection takes us, we also get an opportunity to discuss it with a group. Eva, on the other hand, is not happy with online discussion because of her limited teaching experience. That's where she says she found the online discussions difficult, and she was relying on her imagination to provide an answer to the questions under reflection. Now we will briefly talk about significance and we conclude this study. Findings of this study contribute to the body of research claiming that the quality of online discussion is an important factor in students' attitude toward the discussion itself. Findings of this study could add potential value to the body of research-based recommendations on the design and development of quality online discussions. The didactical chess activity involves teachers in zooming into details and dissecting the didactical situations into teacher moves. Good teaching is about being able to conduct microscopic analysis of a teacher move, and based on this analysis to understand how to effectively engineer student learning. Students' disposition toward online discussion could be strongly associated with the quality of the discussion, among other factors. The student's course evaluation conducted at the end of the course reflect the level of intellectual challenge as well as engagement of the course, offering the pre-service teachers this opportunity. Here's some references, and thank you for your attention.